Walking with Ozzy. Oh, it's disappeared. Dirty protest again. So it's interesting, AD seems to, again, I think this is like the 6th, 7th time, has been driven off YouTube by gang stalkers. I love the way stalkers, not just gang reporting, gang stalkers. Definition of a stalker, AD. Really? Have you been stalked? I'm not sure about that. I think that you set your dogs on other people to do that. Sort of hypocrisy going on here. I don't know of anyone who is against what AD is doing, and bear in mind all the people who make videos about AD disagreeing with what he's doing. It's what he's doing. Okay, it's not necessarily what he's being. No one is attacking his past life or anything like that. It's what he's doing to the Ruseks, what he's done the last couple of years. So there's no reason to stalk Alan Vinnicum. If anyone is stalking him, then please stop, because it puts the rest of us who are trying to put a message across, he bundles us all into one big sort of awful cul-de-sac that no one can return from. Please don't do that. Online stalking is illegal, doesn't get anyone anywhere, and is terribly frightening for people. So he's been driven off YouTube again, so he says. So after the last time that he put up a message, a letter, saying that he'd been driven off, that was when he was banned, and he said, he couldn't be on YouTube anymore, can't be on YouTube anymore because I've been driven off by trolls. A week later he was back with another excuse. So he used the examples of South Korean pop stars who have such pressure from people called saesangs, who are obsessive fans of K-pop and all that kind of stuff, who basically drive them into the ground, and then they end up taking their own life, sadly, terribly sadly, for real. And Alan uses their example on himself. A man sitting in his flat who some people disagree with what he's saying, comparing that to people who have such hell brought upon them that they want to take their own life. Not sure you can really compare those two, Alan. Anyway, evidently it wasn't written by him, so then we all found out that it was actually, he just cut and pasted an article from a magazine. Didn't even write it himself. And in this letter, where Alan Vinnicum says that he's been driven off YouTube again by gang stalkers, there are no lengths that this person won't go to get money or to be believed or to prove his credibility. It's just laughable. But then he's said to report everyone to YouTube. So he's saying that everyone has gang stalked him and reported him, so no matter what he does, he just gets reported. So please report them. Right, so there's no proof at all that Alan has been sort of gang mass reported, and if he has, it's because he's been doing naughty work online that shouldn't be on YouTube, right? So everyone I know who has these so-called micro channels has integrity, bar one or two, and I think we know the Tasmanian devil, bar one or two, but she still has her reasons. Everyone I know has integrity, and most of them, all of them actually, don't really hide because they don't need to. They're putting their face to YouTube, and that's a big deal, to put your face on camera and just get it out there. People who don't do it, or people who are trolls, or people who hide and then have a go at what someone looks like or who they are, they're not putting their face out there on camera, so they don't really know what that feels like. And people who put their self on camera are pretty brave to do that, because you're going to come under all kinds of fire. That's not to say that putting yourself on camera and speaking up is the only way that people are doing incredible work. The best, most hard-working people in this cause are the ones who don't put their face on camera, who do it by other means, or do it by the types of film. I'm merely just a person who talks, rambles, I would say, because I say it all wrong, then sometimes I say it right, but I know what I mean to say, and hopefully you do too. I'm rambling again. Shut up, Philippa. And then I'll get lots of comments like, shut up, Philippa. Then at the end of Alan's letter, or Alan's statement about gang stalking has been driven, he can't support anyone, he's got no money, his income. He just sort of says all about what's been happening to him. And by the way, please join Patreon. Here's my PayPal account, just in case. So he's e-begging now. He can't afford a lawyer. And no, you probably can't, because already I'm thinking that you owe quite a lot, and that's expensive. So he wants to take people to court, or he's being taken to court, and is now begging people to pay the court costs. I'm sorry, have I got that right? You've earned thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds from your subs, from Slooper Chat and from Patreon, and now you're asking for more money for legal costs because you need to go to court because you've been doing wrong in earning all the money from telling lies. I'd say this isn't going well. I'd say this is going on a further road into the arena of the unwell. So yeah, he puts up his PayPal account just to make sure he can still get money. And it's interesting because have you noticed that when was the last time you heard Alan say, I'm doing this for justice for Shanann? Right. Ages ago. He started off, I'm doing this for justice for Shanann. Right. Not anymore. Then it became, I'm doing this for freedom of speech. Then it became, I'm doing this because AD is being denied speech. So he moved into the third person and then created that narrative, because then that keeps suckers in. That keeps people in, because it creates an arena of them and us. It creates an arena of drama that one feels like one can help in or become involved in. So it makes supporters of AD or people who are interested active in helping him. It's a very clever ploy, and it worked. You know, that support me. I'm being denied this. I'm just a guy who wants to justice for Shanann, earn an income, and earning an income is great from YouTube. But I just think that Alan went a bit skew-whiff and went wrong somewhere, and that's why it's worth talking about, because I'm a massive supporter of people leaving the real sex alone, and the fact that they are being so disrespected needlessly for no reason whatsoever apart from spite. And being spiteful is very immature, very puerile, and very easy to do. It's sort of what children can do and what teenagers can do, because it's very easy to do that. But as adults, why don't we just open the discussion? And it's quite, it's not a frightening thing to do, to say, oh, well, actually I went a bit wrong, or I totally disagree with you, but it's worth hearing your point of view. I've lost my train of thought now. So yeah, he did that ploy. Yeah, when was the last time that you heard him say, I'm doing this for justice for Shanann? It changed. He flip-flopped all over the place, because it was only about money. It had to be, because he had so many people come on. There was a friend, Shannon, a friend of the family. Ozzy, come here. Every time. Ozzy! Here he is. Friend of the family. There was another insider, another incredibly important person. Shannon was, you never saw her again. What, so you've got this incredibly important link to the family that then you do a couple of episodes on and then it's all sort of gone, washed under the carpet. The letters were a massive deal. I've got hundreds of pages. I've got 400 pages. No, I've got 300 pages. Anyway, that might not be accurate, but I've got pages. A page. So these massive letters came, and then this massive boost. Join me on Patreon. I'm going to read the letters. No one else has the letters. If anyone else has the letters, I'm going to take them to court because it's copyright. I've copywritten. Blah, 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 blah. There was one letter that was read out. Then it all disappeared. That all disappeared. So you've got letters, hundreds of pages, from Chris Watts, the very, very person that you've been making videos about for 2 years. And you want justice for Shanann. And then you never hear anything about it again. So all these links that turn out to be so tenuous, all these incredibly important people that you've boosted, breaking news, this, that and the other, it's just for views. And that's what's wrong. Nothing wrong with self-promoting, but this went over the line. And that's why people got up in arms and had to call this out. It's got nothing to do with hate. I mean, his reaction and his way of dealing with things made people really, really angry and made him look like possibly one of the most nastiest people on YouTube. It didn't have to be that way. People were just calling him out. And it could have all been different if Alan would have said, yeah, I mean, I know my views are controversial and I may not be right, but I'm just going to go along with this for a moment. But no, there was nothing. There was no discussion. There was a war waged, because that also created more views and kept his subs in the loop, because then they felt they had a job to do. They had a purpose. And that's natural, you know, when you want someone to help you, it gives you an active thing to do in the situation, I can do this, you know, I can help. And it was all a big ploy from Alan. It's not the sub's fault. It's Alan's responsibility. It's Alan's responsibility that he took off the low tiers on his Patreon. They didn't sell out. Alan is responsible for his tiers, what he does on his social media. See, it's all one lie after the other, which is why his channel flips around so much. And I love a diverse channel. I love to find out about a person. Come on, Oz! Ozzy! Here! Come on! He's just met a dangerous dog. Come on, Ozzy! 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 Come here! Come up! Little thing. Sorry. Here he is. Oh, you terror! You terror! I love finding out about people. I love finding out about, you know, people's thoughts and what they're going through, and, you know, how they communicate themselves. And I think this is actually a really, really long and boring post, but important one. So, Alan did this letter, and out of protest was silent. I don't know what that was about. And now he's off. But he said, join PayPal to help support me because I need now legal costs and I want to keep you all together. So, you know, you can all help me. And so he's going to pop up. I think he's popped up somewhere else. It's just, oh gosh. I don't even know where to go anymore, because it's been 2 years of this, ongoing. And what's frightening is that now other people have come up the rear, as it were. You know about that disgusting video made about me. And it was interesting because there was a massive comment about my looks on this bunny channel. Somebody said, oh, you know, you really need to eat something because, you know, your face is this and that and the other. And just let me give you a little bit of advice. That was deleted. Rightly so, because what I look like is none of anyone else's business. None of anyone else's business. I am this. This is what I am, and I'm just speaking up for what I think is good. Is good, right? As I said before, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. That's why I'm doing what I do. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my channel, but I'm just trying to get some information across that may help someone, some person who has given hundreds of pounds to, or dollars to AD for nothing, who may be struggling to eat or pay their bills, or struggling, to pay anything. It's not fair. That's why I'm speaking up. It's not fair on that person who was fed loads of lies, and the fishing rod went out and he reeled them in. And we're all struggling at the moment financially. We're in the middle of a massive, or coming into a massive recession, I suspect. There's no work. People are struggling to pay anything after the lockdown. And yet he feels it's his right to e-beg, to play mind games in terms of, you may not have this money, but I mean, my God, it's it's $5, it's $10 a month. If you can buy a coffee, you can do this. Anyone who doesn't have $5, well, I don't really believe that. How dare you say that to people? This is what I hate, is what he does. That's cruel, to sit there and play mind games with someone and saying they're not included unless they part with their money. You never hear him say, you're included if you can't afford me. You never say that. Alan doesn't do anything for anyone who can't pay. That's what I hate, is that someone is losing money to him, and he feels he has the right, more than anyone else, to have money. He has to pay things. He has to do things. Well, so does everybody else, Alan. Everybody has to do that. But yet he feels, because he is above everything, and he does so much work, he doesn't, that he deserves that. And that's a problem for me, because it's not right. And this is a person who doesn't care that he's taking money from people. I mean, I don't even know how much money he has taken from people, but my God, he doesn't care. There hasn't been a shining light of goodness come out of that channel. This is why I'm speaking up. And again, I'll get loads of calls, oh, there's no shining light coming to your channel. The zombies will be reawakened. But I still know that I'm doing the right thing, which is to speak up and just say, anyone who might be watching this who's parted with a $50, $5, $100, $300, you could have kept that. Keep it. Keep your money. Everybody needs their money right now. Alan doesn't need your money anymore. He's got the money from you. All of these different ways, bringing different people on, other people, I mean, it's all just to get money. And then if you look at the guests that he has on, I'll stop right there. So that's why I'm speaking up, and that was around, and tune in tomorrow, day 2, Fit of Crimes rant. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. But any trolls, don't bother, because I've read everything. Alright guys, have a great day, and lots of love.